The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign, trusted by over 500 NFL players for their winning smiles, and broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your host, Nicole Hutchison.
Good morning, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign. In the SWBC studio, I'm Nicole Hutchison, alongside Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison. Ladies, good morning. Wake up!
Bree said,
Well, she was doing.
Were you
something, so I felt
robotic?
like I had to, do something with my hands because her hands was moving.
Yeah.
praise dancing.
Praise dancing is crazy. Have you ever praise dance?
No, but I like to watch
Did you?
it at church. 'Cause
I tried.
I feel like you would be good with the.
you look like a praise dancer.
That's crazy. I don't got rhythm like that.
Really?
Tried it.
But does praise dancing require? Do people know what praise dancing is? Do y'all know what we talking about?
They probably don't.
I think they do.
It's fine. Dancing.
It's interpretive dance
good
for
Lord.
Jesus.
Yeah,
There we go.
Or whomever
I
you
know.
serve.
That part.
Jesus for me.
and
Jesus for
we
me
all
too.
never
Amen.
kept
The good Lord. I don't have rhythm, but it's fine. The Cowboys looking to stay in rhythm.
Okay.
On Sunday against the Denver Broncos at Denver. And we're going to get to Aisha's insights in the next segment. So you got to stick with us to get the film breakdown. But Cowboys have not won in Denver since 1992. Let me repeat that. The Cowboys have not won in Denver since 1992. They're looking to change that, obviously, this Sunday in
30+
week
years
8.
later.
Stop.
Please, Bree.
I need you
You
to-
know she can't help it.
I ain't fed up.
That pessimism
being
just
positive.
comes through her.
I don't know.
Positive.
That was
It's
a
gonna
little
be
sarcasm
It's
to
going
me.
to be different in
It's
the
fine.
year 2025.
Okay. Well, big picture. Ladies, thoughts going into this game, considering the Cowboys played their most complete game against, the Washington Commanders in Week 7. Thoughts? That's what we're going to do.
Anything can happen.
Okay.
On any Sunday. Now, looking at the Broncos, they are what they've been for the last couple of years and what I've always kind of known them. They're a defensive team. They are trying to figure things out behind second-year quarterback Bo Nix. But defensively, just like last game, I know 33 points in the fourth quarter. Kind of remarkable and crazy. I remember watching the game. I was like, this game is done. Wasn't really paying attention to it. And then we were at obviously our game, and I'm looking at the tweets, and I'm like, they did what?
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter, 33 points. That's insane. But if you go back and watch the highlights, the defense gave them opportunities, making those big plays, putting them in the positions, and they took advantage of it. Their defense has been saving them week to week. I think they're averaging roughly about, I want to say, 25 plus points a game. For the Cowboys, that wouldn't be enough but a team that's handling their business on defense. It's certainly enough. It shows that they're gritty. It shows that they don't give up. I expect the Cowboys to come out firing like they've been doing all season offensively, but this is a team to be weary of because we just saw they don't go down without a fight because that defense will keep them in. So I think it's going to be a good game.
That's fair.
I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, that quarterback a little crazy.
Bo Nix.
He a little off his handle. He reminds me of Baker.
Baker?
Yeah. I mean, I'll get into like the film side of it, but his temperament is like he got some swag to him. You know, he got the little.
I see a little
jittery thing.
Josh. I see a little
He's a little Josh. Okay.
Josh.
Okay.
With the the
Maybe it's
little-
because of the size too.
That's too. Yeah.
But I mean, going into this game, this is put up or shut up time for the Cowboys. Like this slate of games are number one, and it's important for them to stay, trending in the right direction. But if they want to stay in this race, maybe we're not thinking too far about playoffs, but like you gotta start stacking some games and continue to stack some games. And this, like you ladies mentioned, like the Denver defense is a very tough defense, and they, the energy up there, like that's one of the harder places to play. Not only for the altitude that we heard George Pickens mention on Sounds of the Sideline, but also to the environment. That their fans come out deep, and so this is gonna be a tough game on the road for Dallas. I don't think it's gonna be easy.
Yeah, especially like you had already mentioned, Bree, down 19-0, coming back, beating the Giants. Now, I don't know if that's certainly a thing that we should
Huh?
kind of be like.
What do you say?
Okay, my bad.
The Giants did what?
My bad.
The Giants
They
is
give us
messing up
19
everybody
It's all good.
I see.
in somehow, some way.
Yeah, it's fine. All right. Well, They're going to probably be without Greenlaw as well. He is out for one game, so that's a huge win for Dallas. But talking about this Cowboys team offensively, I know we're sticking with defense. Let me not get off track. Cowboys defense, biggest concerns heading into this matchup.
My biggest concern? My biggest concern would be that some of the things that they did in this past game were contingent on the Commanders not having their receivers out there. Like the Commanders' offense already kind of coming in limping. So maybe that is why you decided to run more man, because their receivers are not, those guys that were out there are not, the top receivers on that team. They had a couple of offensive linemen banged up, just different stuff. I'm more worried about if what we saw this past week is something that is really going to be built upon, or is it going to go back to how things were before? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that? Like, I'm nervous,
because I felt this excited when they were able to shut down the Jets.
Yeah.
And then we got what we got against the Panthers. So that it just didn't make sense. But then you heard about, and we talked about what was on the other side, what with Jaden Daniels and how well they prepped for him, and understanding that he does not do well against the blitz. They blitz more than we've seen all season. They played man more than they did all season. So it's okay, so how do you stop Bo Nix, who has a very, very strong arm, who is learning how to scramble? And we saw it his rookie season, but yeah, I think it's going to be definitely a challenge and a little bit harder. They're not limping, like you said, like the Commanders were. And now it's time to kind of face the music, if you will, because people, they'll tell you, we know they will. The Commanders came in without their top receivers. So what does this look like going against? Well, we're about to see, because they do have some guys they can get the ball to in big moments. But I'm most concerned about, to answer your question, Nicole, is the run game. They got a little running back situation there, and it's going to be fun. We'll talk about, obviously, it's Javonte Williams' return to Denver as well.
Yeah.
So I know he'll be amped up, but they went with a running back that's doing pretty damn good over there. Top 10. We got I think Javonte, I want to say,
He's second leading rusher in the NFL.
Hey,
Talk about it.
Against number 7.
Second leading rusher in the NFL right now.
Hey, I like how you had to say it twice.
I had to say it again. Second leading rusher in the NFL right now. Feels great.
I love when you count me out.
Yeah, so it's gonna be that'll be a fun matchup there with the running backs to see, averaging 5 yards per carry.
Yeah,
and I hope it doesn't go up once you get finished with the Cowboys.
That part. Cowboys defense, I'm screaming. Jaden Daniels completed 12 of 22 pass attempts for 156 yards and a touchdown before leaving the game against the Cowboys. But he struggled against man coverage, completing only 3 of 10 for 39 yards compared to, of course, his 9 of 12 for 117 yards and a touchdown against zone coverage. But I want to ask y'all ladies, y'all think that was a fluke defensively? Y'all think that was just...
Well,
they're out 3 of their starting receivers?
I mean,
what y'all think?
I think...
Maybe I should ask that a little bit better.
I mean, you only play... You play who you got to play. It is what it is. But I also understand, those gentlemen that were out there were not the same. They're not a Debo Samuel. They're not a, Terry McLaurin. So I do think that matters. But also, too, the pressure is what helped as well. Some of the blitzing is what helped. And that's always going to help. Pass rush is going to help them having, I thought that they contained better than I've seen them contain a mobile quarterback for, a lot of the season. But, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I know Deron Bland really looked good. I know that's.
I love watching that replay. It's so fun to see. We've been waiting for that all season.
I know he seems so happy too.
Yeah.
I say he finally got a celebration. He normally don't be having a celebration.
That's true.
I'm glad he got.
I'm glad
proud
he got
of him.
one.
But no, I that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying earlier though. It's that's what I'm nervous about with this game. Because we gotta see the consistency. We gotta.
Is it there or is it not? Especially going against.
Is it fake?
One of the better O lines.
Is this faux?
We don't know.
I'm sick.
We don't know.
Well, we're going to find out more of what they have to do up next. I like to keep their second segment a little bit longer because we dive into the film of what to expect. Cowboys, Broncos, Cowboys defense, Broncos offense. We're going to take our first break here on Girls Talk, Boys Talk and take a listen to. Wow, that's crazy.
We're
going to talk it all.
I really didn't
talk about it all.
Saying, but I was looking.
It's fine.
We're
going to take our first break here.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for us. If the men in your life bleed blue and silver like we do, I've found the perfect way to elevate their game day rituals. Gillette just released their best razor in Cowboys colors, and it is everything a Cowboys fan could want. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor combines his Cowboys pride with Gillette's best shave. And with 50% longer lasting blades, it is truly the gift that keeps on giving. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's best shave is also available as heated.
Cowboys Nation, head to Miller Lighthouse at AT&T Stadium for a free watch party presented by 7-Eleven. Watch the Dallas Cowboys face off against the Broncos in Denver on Sunday, October 26th. Doors open at 2 p.m. and kickoff is at 3:25. Enjoy a performance by the DCC, Slurpee samples, $5 Miller Lights, and more. Claim your free ticket at DallasCowboys.com/watch party.
I feel like we're asleep right now, and I need us to wake up.
I'm awake.
Wake up!
She just wanted to you.
She got that spirit because we awake.
I don't know. I ain't feeling
Even Bree did a robot kind of
It
earlier.
was a little dead.
Oh my God.
I need more.
I'm asking her. Take her box off.
You normally don't even feel so much.
Take her box off.
Bree
It's
don't
crazy.
even normally dance. You got to dance out of Bree.
I don't know.
She's
I
ungrateful.
I was gonna say, it's giving.
She's never satisfied. You want me to break dance?
Yes. Absolutely.
She wants you
Walk inside and break.
Coyote ugly on this table right now. Start busting a move.
Welcome back into Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign in the SWBC studio. Nicole Hutchison, Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison, and y'all know what time it is. I think we need a drum roll.
Oh my.
Aisha's insights. What you got? Cowboys defense, Broncos offense.
Well, first of all,
Okay.
I'm just gonna start with talking about the Denver offense. Like I said before, the QB's kind of crazy, little off his handle. This offense is led by Joe Lombardi and Sean Payton. Now the Denver folks say that it's really Sean Payton, but I'm not gonna go there. Okay. They are 12th in scoring, 23.3 points per game, 11th in yards per game, 15th in pass yards per game, and 6th in rushing yards per game, which is what Bree mentioned. They're averaging about 131.9 yards on the ground every game. So it starts up front. I mean, like I said, talking about the quarterback, this is a gunslinger. This is a guy that can really throw the ball all over the field. He has a heck of an arm. One thing that stands out to me initially watching him is the scramble ability, like Bree mentioned before, is one thing he will do is slip between the A and B gap. If that pocket is collapsing on him, he is not afraid to turn up those wheels, and he will make you pay in doing that. I think he does a lot of his best work from under center. They will do some stuff in shotgun. They will do some stuff in pistol. I mean, play action is not something he's really thriving at, y'all. I thought that he would be better at it. another thing that stands out watching him is how much pressure affects him. So we got another quarterback that struggles with pressure, which I hope that Flus, kind of leans into some of the stuff he did last week. Hopefully the defensive line can contain, though. It affects him drastically. I mean, there's like a 20 to 40% drop in his accuracy when he is under pressure or when he is blitzed. So that's really the quarterback. Like I said, he really likes to attack the deep left of the field. You'll see a lot of his big passes to like Demaryius Thomas and those guys. Not Demaryius Thomas, my God, that is not someone that is with us anymore. They were honoring him. Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton. He really likes to attack that part of the field. When you get to the offensive line, now this offensive line, like Bree said earlier, this is one of the best offensive lines that Dallas is going to see. This unit has been together for a while now. Now, they have had some issues with the left guard position because Ben Powers, their starter, got placed on IR the other week. And then the backup, Matt Peart, he got placed on IR last week. So they have a backup guy playing right now. His name is Alex Palexki, I want to say.
Yeah,
yes, that is him. And he has struggled the most. If you're going to find a weak part in this offensive line, it is probably going to be the center and the left guard. I look for Dallas to attack there. But their tackles are pretty steady, pretty strong. Their right guard. Their tight ends, their tight ends just be out there for decoration, which is really weird because they signed Evan Ingram. He hasn't really lived up to the expectations that I thought that they were going to see with him coming in. It just hasn't. Their tight ends are very heavily involved in the run game and not really involved in the passing game, y'all. So I don't know if that's something that we can expect that maybe they decide to attack because Dallas has struggled with defending tight ends. But if they do that, I would be surprised. They have a lot of heavy packages when they're running the ball. And what I mean by that is that they'll put 2 tight ends in. Actually, they'll bring in 3 tackles for their jumbo packages. They also have a fullback that they use that does some things for them. Sometimes they'll hand it to him. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes they'll hand it to those running backs that I'm about to get to right now. J.K. Dobbins is their premier back. He's averaging 5 yards a carry, as Bree mentioned before. 4 touchdowns on the season. He's averaging about 75 yards per game. So this is a guy that can get it done. Both of these running backs got really quick feet. Did you ladies notice that at all when you were taking a look at them? These guys really have the ability to be shifty in between the tackles, put their foot in the ground, and make you pay. R.J. Harvey is their 2-back. He's averaging about 4.2 yards a carry. It's not as explosive with him as J.K. Dobbins, but he is someone that still can make you pay. And Tyler Beatty is their guy that they use as kind of their receiving running back, I would say. I still can't get over the fact that they don't really use their tight ends. This is a very explosive offense. They are 11th in the league with explosive play rate. They are able to really hit you in the mouth, but for the most part, and this is an important part, and Bree, you mentioned it before, is that the Cowboys have to come out and score because this Denver offense, they take some time to get going.
Yep.
They kind of can be conservative in how they do things, and I think that's why they get behind in games because they come out like slow chugging, and they're not just trying to, really take it to you at the beginning of games. I hope that Dallas takes advantage of that on the offensive side of the ball, and I hope that the defense is prepared for them to try to switch it up, knowing that they have to keep up with this Dallas offense. When you get to their wide receiver core, you have Marvin Mims Jr. He is he's kind of their motion man. They send him in motion all the time. He's kind of the guy that they really try to get some information on. He's a speedster. He can really hurt you. He's not a big framed guy, so he's going to hurt you down the field and some of those intermediate routes, but he is not a middle of the field guy. Don't expect to see him do a whole bunch in the middle of the field. I think it's because maybe it's his frame so little and they don't want to get him popped. Anyway, Troy Franklin. Troy Franklin is one of their yak leaders. This is a yak team, so in regard to the Dallas defense, it is going to be important for them to come out and tackle. Every one of their receivers has over 130 yards of yak yardage this year. So when they get the opportunity, they're not just trying to catch the ball, they're also trying to catch the ball and make something happen for their quarterback. And honestly, I think that's a great design scheme with Sean Payton and Lombardi because you have a young quarterback. So sometimes you are going to need some help with these guys just making plays. Cortland Sutton is their number one, as I said before. He's very physical through contact. He has fantastic concentration with the balls in the air. He has very strong hands. And another guy to keep your eye out on is Pat Bryant, their rookie. He hasn't gotten a lot of burn, but I do know that fans and some of their reporters are looking at him to take a jump, and maybe they decide to implement him more in this game because they know that they're going to have to keep up with Dallas on the offensive side of the ball. Like I said, this team can be very explosive. They can really hit you in the mouth quickly if you allow them to. I hope for Dallas to be aggressive at the start of this game. But yeah, overall, a pretty balanced offense. I don't have a whole bunch of bad to say about them besides their slow starts. And again, like it's not going to be an easy day for this Dallas defense, I don't believe.
Yeah, well, this is where it's crucial for them to not be complacent either. You know, they've done a good job of course, last week forcing Washington to a 3-and-out, the first opening drive for them. You got to maintain that the entire 4 quarters because they will, like Aisha mentioned, hit you in the mouth. But I want to start in the quarterback position. Bo Nix, he's got 3 rushing touchdowns, averaging 25 yards on the ground this season. I mean, he's not like a Jalen Hurts or, Lamar Jackson. He's not one of those guys. Jaden Daniels.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, but he's a big boy. He will hurt you if necessary. Last week, the Cowboys did a good job of containing Jaden Daniels for the most part, 35 yards. Of course, a rushing touchdown, but we're not going to talk about it. Averaging 4 yards over the ground. But did that give you a little confidence of them being better, at least at containing mobile quarterbacks? Yes, no.
Well, I know that Jaden is still dealing with, I know you mentioned
that,
Breeze, that Jaden was still dealing with some mobility issues. But even at that, for them to kind of really, neutralize Krosky, I still felt like that was a big deal because he had been giving people fits on the ground prior to. So I do think the edges played better in this past game. So, yeah, I guess, I mean, we got to give credit where it's due. And then also, too, they did some new things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They deployed a spy, with Maris Leofow. So all of that kind of factors into.
And Sam Williams. Did y'all see that? I didn't like that, though.
Get away from
Stop.
Don't do that.
My bad.
That's my dog. Don't do that to him. To your point, though, Aisha, last week, or this week, my days are colliding. I had to smack her in the air real quick.
Didn't like it.
The Cowboys really stacked the box in a way we haven't seen in a while. Now, I don't particularly think Bo Nix is the guy that you need to spy because he isn't that speedy guy. If your guys are tackling as they're supposed to, they scare me a little bit with their tackling. Like I said, that was like one thing, especially in the beginning of last week. I was like, how is 1, 2? I'm counting like 3 tackles. He's just flying by these people. I don't think Bo Nix is going to have the need to have a spy in this game personally, but I do think you can take some things from last week when it is how many guys you're bringing up because they can run the ball. And I think the frustration I follow a lot of Denver folks because for people who don't know, I did spend a season there. What was that, 2022? It was COVID year. It was not a great time. And
oh, goodness.
Teddy Bridgewater was my quarterback. It was a lot going on.
I hate that for you.
It was a lot going on.
Joking.
But for me, like looking at what this team can do now, they have their quarterback. This is a guy they drafted when Sean Payton was there. Like Sean Payton is running things now. When he first took over, he was getting leftovers. Now this is his squad, and you're seeing that starting to build. They have a lot of confidence in what Bo Nix can do. But I think what the backlash from Sean Payton, like you're saying, to these slow starts, they're kind of getting away from what they're good at, and that is their run game.
Yeah.
Bo Nix had 2 rushing touchdowns in the 4th quarter, which was crazy to see. And they're dialing him up some plays and things like this. But where was that for 3 quarters? Where was that when they was making the Jets look a lot better, the week before? So there's some frustrations there as well. And Sean Payton, I did see a recent quote for him standing on business saying, no, he doesn't plan on making any play caller changes because that's how hot things are getting over there. Because I think this is a 5-2 team. Like, this is big for the Broncos, who have been
absolutely
trying to, find a way. But I think if I'm Sean Payton, I'm looking at what this team is able to do. I think you're going to hopefully see from their perspective, getting back to their run game and what they do best, because Bo Nix is, I know he's not the Hurts, he's not the Jaden Daniels, but he is the team's second leading rusher. Like, that speaks volumes that he is basically a running back when you're looking at what the Broncos are about to come in here, or what we're going over there and we have to contain. So.
Yeah. And they do a lot of work. Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
They do a lot of work at the line of scrimmage. Like, so much of the stuff that they do is, again, based off of the wide receivers or the running backs being able to get out in space and make guys miss. And it's so crazy when you're watching their offense, because you'll see so many of their plays are not like, yeah, they'll throw the ball downfield, but it's like, hey, we're going to set up some blocking right here for you, make somebody miss, or they're going to set up the screen game and things like that. And so I do think, to your point, Bree, that tackling is going to be very important. And the reason why I even said Demaryius Thomas earlier is because they are coming off of that big win. And at that win last week, on Sunday, they were honoring him in that game. It was very emotional. And so I feel like they're going to kind of be up for this game, because 33 points in a quarter is crazy in the NFL.
It is.
And then to parallel that with all of their their alumni was at the game as well. I just feel like it really might propel them into really feeling inspired to come out in this game.
Yeah, they set an NFL record of
No big deal.
points in a fourth quarter.
Please.
Yeah, I know.
It's fine.
Sorry to show y'all.
Hey, we're not the only team that people do records on. The Giants too.
Okay,
We got that in common?
I don't like that.
Awesome.
I
can't.
do not.
Not just us.
That's insane. All right. Biggest concern in terms of matchups. Where do you feel like the Cowboys, I won't say lack, but have the disadvantage against the Broncos? Cowboys defense, Broncos offense.
I think the O-line, again, is one of the strongest things about this team. And I did want to mention what Aisha was talking about, Mr. Alex Palechki. That is their fourth Palechki, I believe. It's spelled with the A, but it sounds like E when at least that's what the announcers were saying. Yeah. Okay. That was his first start at left guard. And to your point, I know you were talking about possibly being the weaker point. The writers that I was following from Denver, so the crowd was like cheering when he was coming in and making plays, because he actually had a really good game from when you have your fourth string for a guy who hasn't played left guard, like you're thinking but he actually held his own in there. But I do have a note from interior O-line. I feel like that is, to your point, going to be a work spot, because even though he did have a really good game and exceeded expectations on what they thought he could do, I think you could still manipulate him and things, because he's still learning on that spot. And it looks like they're going to have to keep going with him coming into here. But Garrett Boyles is a guy I remember when I was there. I remember when I first got there, he had just signed like a big deal. And then, if I'm not mistaken, he just re-signed another big deal in 2024. He's their longest tenured O-line. He is the pool guy. So wherever he's at, I promise you that's where the running back is going to be, right behind, going into the end zone or attempting to go into.
You know what's crazy? He is one of the better left tackles in the NFL. But what's crazy, too, is when I was looking at film, is like what they will do, and this is something that Dallas has struggled with the misdirection. Baby, they'll sell you. They'll sell it like they are about to run behind him. And then they also do some uneven fronts. And what I mean by that is that they'll literally take another offensive lineman, motion the offensive lineman next to, so it'll be two tackles next to each other. They really like to mix up their looks and make it look like there's a strong side or a weak side. And what they'll do is like they'll make you think they're running to that weak side or that strong side, and they're play actioning back to the weak side. So I don't know, I hope that Dallas is prepared for some of the misdirection and stuff that they do with that run game, because they do have an offensive line that either way they can hit it. They can hit it. And so this, to your point, Bree, I was looking at their numbers. This offensive line has only registered 3 sacks this year, but they have given up 41 pressures. 16 of those pressures have come from that center, Wattenberg. So if you are going to attack somewhere, then I believe that the interior is your best bet, because McGlinchey on the other side is solid as a rock as well. To answer your question, Nicole, my biggest concern is that Dallas goes up against a really good offensive line, and we see them because they weren't getting pressure on their own with 4 last week. Don't get it twisted. They were getting pressure when they decided to blitz. But this offense does have some guys. You're going back to the real world again. I understand we just played Washington. But this offense and these receivers have the ability to make you pay if you don't get there on the blitz. We saw Dallas, Donovan, some of those guys miss some tackles when they had the opportunity. You got to get this guy on the ground. Because not only is he going to run past you, he going to flex in the end zone.
And Kenny Clark got banged up, don't forget, last game.
His elbow, right?
That'll be something. I know he'll play through it most likely, but that's something to keep an eye on this week when we're talking about you got to take care. That's where you need to attack this week.
You know where I noticed is Eberflus was getting froggy a little bit last week. Not froggy. And sent like 3-man fronts, mixed things up with 5-man fronts. Y'all think he should do that this week or just stick with 4 down linemen? And that's it.
It depends.
Pressure with 4.
It depends because one thing I did realize, saw about Bo Nix is that he is very efficient against cover 1, cover 2. When you get into cover 3, cover 4, cover 6, he struggles a bit there. When you drop more guys into coverage and some of those zone looks and some of those things, he is still young. So he's still getting a grasp on what he's seeing. I wonder if Dallas does kind of what you said, because they ran some dime last week, which is, maybe they took a linebacker off the field. It was like, no, Marquise Bell. Get out here.
Please.
So I do wonder if they're going to throw some of these looks at him to maybe trip him up, because especially if they can't get pressure. Because if they can't get pressure and he's just sitting back there chilling,
That's fair.
These wide receivers do have the ability to get open. So that's the part that's scaring me.
And he is taking a lot compared to what he had, 12 interceptions in 17 games last year. He is ironically taking better care
of the ball. But he will put it on the ground. And he will throw it to you every now and then.
We'll take it.
He might throw it to you every now and then. And that's what I was saying is, like, you have to figure out how to manufacture pressure on him, but also not leave your back end out to dry. It's very difficult. But Dallas is definitely going to have to figure out a way to do it.
Are y'all going to keep Deron Bland in the slot this week? Would y'all like him to stay in the slot?
I want to say yes. And then you got Sutton. Yes. But then you got Sutton on the outside.
Why do you gotta say it like that?
And I think it depends too. Is Trayvon gonna be in this game?
Huh?
On that note, we're gonna take our second break here on Girls Talk Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign in the SWBC studio.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
How does the cheerleader's hair always look so perfect? We asked, and they shared one of their biggest beauty secrets. If you want hair like theirs and confidence to match, use Babyliss Pro styling tools. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders use Babyliss Pro curling irons to get those perfect game day curls. To get the hair you see on the cheerleaders, head to BabylissPro.com. Use the code Cowboys20 for 20% off Babyliss Pro tools, the official styling tools of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Get the discount while it lasts. Offer may be withdrawn at any time at advertiser's discretion.
The countdown to game day starts with Rally Days presented by SeatGeek. Enjoy performances from Kat Hasty, and other local artists. Get a behind-the-scenes look at AT&T Stadium. Meet the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and alumni and more. Get your tickets for the next Rally Day on November 2nd at attststadium.com/rallydays.
Welcome back in to Girls Talk Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign in the SWBC studio. Nicole Hutchison, Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison. I think we need more energy.
Every time I come back,
Oh my God.
I think it's just a reminder.
Like, I don't even know
Wake
what to do with my hands.
you gotta jump on the table.
Yep, that part.
Sister, I'm disabled. Woo. Y'all forgot.
I don't know.
I might throw out a hip
That'd be
Bro, that
crazy
hip is
work.
crazy.
in real life.
You're not that old. Don't be dramatic.
I'm being physical therapy
That's
again.
insane.
She's about to be
I don't know, do
year
something.
older.
Like, give me some energy.
You gonna tell my business?
I'm lying because I'm the oldest one at this table while I'm talking stuff.
Are you?
Well, black don't crack, baby, so I'm not tripping.
Period.
Right.
On that note, we're going to stick with the secondary. I liked where the conversation was going, but we did have to take our second break because we was talking too much. But it's all right. So, Cowboys secondary. Did y'all like the lineup? Of course, Triquez Bridges, Kyer Elam outside corners, Deron Bland inside the slot. Then you had Donovan Wilson, of course, and Marquise Bell at safety. Did y'all like that lineup?
I did for who we were facing. We talked a little bit about why it made sense. But to Aisha's point,
contingency.
but to Aisha's point,
Kept it cute. I like
you're
it.
going to have some wide receivers who can get out in the outside and they can hurt you. And I think, looking at it, Cortland Sutton, he's been in this system for a very long time. Troy Franklin is another target they like to go to. But I'm also looking, and I know you talked about him not being a guy that really gets out in the middle of the field, but Marvin Mims, he's been coming up clutch for these Broncos game after game. And it's kind of crazy. He's only averaging less than 4 catches per game. But those catches that he had last game really set this team up in position to be able to go out there and score. I think he's getting a little bit more eyes on him. I wouldn't be surprised if they used him a little bit more in this. He is a guy that can be very dynamic in space. He can come up with, even his little self can come up with some one-handed catches there. And he's clutch. And I think they have more than a couple receivers. Even going down the list every week, it fluctuates. It's not like that. We know where those targets are going every week. And I think that does make a team a little bit more dangerous when you do have a secondary who's banged up, who, again, Triquez Bridges.
Triquez Bridges.
Okay.
It's all good.
I'll have to work on that one. It's spelled very differently.
It is.
But that was the first time that we got to see him out there. I don't know if this is a game Reddy Stewart is going to be looked at. Kyer Elam, I liked him and what he was able to do, but he's also a guy who hasn't been consistent. So that's why, even though everybody laughed at me when I talked about Trayvon, it's just going to be interesting to see if he makes as well, because I think he does make a difference on.
I would like to see him on Sutton because their body types are, this is a bigger guy. Those are some of the guys that, that Trayvon has defended better in the past, not the speedy guys. Now, I do think Deron Bland in the slot is something that I already said I would like to see. Also, too, because of how much work, I'm trying to tell y'all, he will throw the ball downfield, but so much of what they do offensively is like, I'm the quarterback. It's like right here in this box. And we got to see Deron Bland come down and tackle and set the tone. And I really think that the corners and the linebackers are going to have to come up to the line of scrimmage and tackle a lot. And I think Deron Bland does that really well. Now, if they do decide to go back with Reddy Stewart at the slot, I wouldn't be super opposed to it just because Mims and him are similar in size. I don't know if he can keep up with Mims with that 4.3 speed, but I wonder, like, that is something to keep an eye out on. That is something that when we get to talk to the coaches, that maybe we can try to see if there is going to be changes in this lineup based on the matchup. The matchup's kind of
subtle changes again.
Yeah,
and then maybe they try what they did
this past week.
And if he starts getting cooked, then they switch it out. I could see that happening as well, because people were like, because I think anytime you can get the best out of your player, and you, like Nicole said, Deron Bland was like smiling, had his like little celebration. Anytime you can get that, keep going, because you've been looking for that. So if that's where he feels comfortable right now, and it's working, like, okay, like, let's just keep running with it. But obviously, if who you're matching up against, if it ain't matching, then you gotta switch it out. So
Thoughts on Elijah Clark as well? What y'all think about him?
He didn't have a ton of snaps, but it was.
He was out there in the dime. He just got fresh legs, and you can tell.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, you can just tell, like, how do I say this in a nice way? You can just see the youth in some of the players. Like, you can just see the youth in them and how faster they kind of move. Because I don't consider the Dallas defense to be a fast defense. I mean, your defensive line, you have no speed rushers. Your linebackers are not incredibly fast. Even though Shamar James oddly looks fast, but he wasn't that fast. That's what, you know, your safeties are not that fast. So it's like, you can notice that he is kind of fast. I'll say that. Yeah. That's all I got. Bridges didn't play bad either. I do think he did get away with that pass interference, but he didn't play bad either. There really wasn't a lot of opportunity for him, I didn't feel like, to be honest, to evaluate him. So maybe they do give him another shot. I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
he ain't did nothing to get sat down.
Yeah. If it see some packages that work for him, because like you said, speed, that's not really what this team has got. And they've been going with some of the young, fresher, speedy guys who are we keep saying, you know, they're going to give us a little bit more mistakes than the other guy, but they're going to get to their spot. Now, they may get a couple more yards because, you know, they didn't read it right, but they're going to get to their spot. So.
Yeah, you talk about Trequez Bridges. He allowed 3 receptions on 4 targets for 53 yards, but he played his season-high amount of snaps last Sunday. But talking about Kalen Carson, I know we hadn't talked about him much, but they did elevate him last week. Do y'all think that this could be a game where maybe, I mean, obviously you're talking about the corners coming down and tackling. That was his strength coming out of college. Now, we didn't see much of that last year. He battled some injuries. Still, of course, finally healthy now. Do y'all think this is an opportunity where maybe they do put in a Kalen Carson on the outside?
I mean, maybe. Like Bree said, maybe they go with that lineup that they rolled out last week, and then if it's not looking pretty, you start rotating some people out. Or based off of, it sounds like a lot of the time they going based off of practice.
Yeah, that's
they
true.
going based off of what they see in practice, and if he practices well, maybe they will. I just want the best people on the field.
Yeah, we don't care who it is.
I don't care who it is.
But I don't know if to the Kalen Carson thing, I don't know when or what the plan is with Kalen Carson. I don't know how, I don't know how prioritized him and getting him in is, because we've talked about also when you bring in a new group of guys, they have their guys and who they like. So I don't know where it'll be interesting to see when he does get his shot and how this, you know, team responds to him being in there, because I just feel like he just kind of got lost. Like, even you brought him up, and I know he was activated, but I was like, kind of forgot about him a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah, sometimes just because he's been injured so much. So,
much.
Yeah, that's something that, like, if they did bring him in, I'm sure, like, is he going to be full go? Like, are they going to
probably not
try to condition him a bit?
I think he's been healthy.
Yeah, I'm tracking that. You did tell us that on the show.
For some time, but I think they were just kind of waiting for some other moving pieces.
I'm y'all. Now, one thing I will say, I know Dallas played more men this past game, and I loved it. We all loved it. Happy, hooray. If they play more men in this game, though, they really gonna have to contain, because when you playing man and you running downfield, you're not looking back like that. And this quarterback will make you pay. Like, he will run the ball if you're not paying attention, if there's grass. So I'm kind of like, I wonder how they try to, if they are going to run some man, are they going to mix in some zone as well so they can make sure they account for the quarterback's legs?
Yeah, because everybody in the world thinks, oh, Matt Eberflus finally listened to us. Was it that, or did he look to see what was on the opposing side? Y'all about to find out, because everybody thinks, oh, he finally gave in.
No, don't say that.
I don't know if he gave in. I think he looked at his game plan and he said, okay.
All right. What kind of a statement can this Cowboys defense make against a Broncos offense that's starting to find their rhythm?
Well,
not really starting, but
I do think, as we talked about before, if they're able to limit their run game, I will be impressed. This offensive line move people off the ball, y'all. Like, they're not the prettiest in pass blocking all the time. And run blocking, they have some of their issues. But for the most part, they will double team you to death. Like I said, they will go heavy with 2 tight ends. They will use that fullback. I mean, guys, like, they really are when they decide to run the ball, they really run it at you. And so it's just one of those things. Like Dallas is gonna have to stand up for your rights.
Stand up. It's gonna be one of those
They
wins
have to
that
stand up for themselves.
I feel like the win against the not the Giants, the Jets. Was kind of like, it's the Jets, they haven't won, and then it's like, okay, you beat the Commanders, but they were down. I feel like this is a game where it's like, what are y'all gonna say? Because this is a 5-2 team.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys are still they're trying to get a winning record. They haven't had that this season, so that's also, I think, a statement as well. I know it's week by week, and playoffs is not what we're talking about this moment, but it's hard to ignore those weekly NFL stats that come out, and then the chances of the Cowboys making the playoffs is like, what is it, like 28%? Like, that's not cool. Like, you have a quarterback who's playing lights out. You have CeeDee Lamb back in the mix. You have 2 number 1 wide receivers. The least you could do defensively is show up and make stops, and they did that last week, and it was so fun to watch because it took off the stress of the offense, and it didn't look like you had to score a freaking touchdown every time you got on the field. But I think if you get a win on the road from somewhere you haven't done since before any of us were born, you are able to go above 500 for the first time this season, and you just keep stacking those wins in the NFC East and letting the Eagles know we are right behind you. I think that is going to very much set this tone. We have one more game before we get to the bye week. I think it's huge.
Why you had to add that before we were born?
Just wanted to know how long it was.
Huh? Bree, I didn't even hear that part.
I'm sick of her.
She's so shady.
She's
It's real quick too. But I agree. We're gonna talk about it tomorrow. But that defense over there is serious.
They ain't playing.
That part.
And if this will be one of the few times we get to see really good on good, like 2 of the best. And I do think if Dallas can navigate that tells you something. If Dallas can navigate, this is most like about a middle of the pack offense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If they can,
the defense that
if the defense can handle
what
this,
we got going on.
yeah, absolutely. So if the defense can, we less than the middle of the pack on the defense.
Hey!
I'm not doing that.
But I'm just saying. But I do think this is a game where it's not an NFC team. Like, you can be a little bit more free. Like, let's see if you can go out there and really compete with a team that's balanced like this. Like you mentioned, Bree, you haven't won there. It could be a very good propel, and they're getting over a hump. You know what I'm saying? Because also, too, Dak has struggled against Denver. I remember them being like, oh, the blueprint and all that stuff years ago. Like, he might have something to say, too.
All right, well, the Cowboys seeking their first win in Denver since 1992, their first win against Denver since 1995, and trying to get to 4-3-1 in the season. We're going to break down the Cowboys' offense facing Broncos' defense tomorrow on the show. But that's a wrap for today. Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison, I'm Nicole Hutchinson. We'll see y'all back here tomorrow. Dun, dun, dun.
Just need to get her.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!